welcome to the Poptimist. Today we
go.
have Connor Fersner.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, it's an honor.
We met, summertime?
It was about a year ago, right to this day.
Okay,
actually.
and you have a pretty good memory of it.
Quite a vivid memory. It's hard to get out of my mind.
How did we meet? Can you lay it out?
Oh yeah, I can recount it, baby, from the top of my head. So we met. I was carless at the time, and I called an Uber at about 5 a.m. in the morning because I needed to go to my buddy's house who was going to drive me to Cookeville to talk to my lawyer when he got into his office at 8 a.m. Got into a little bit of a conundrum on my way home for Christmas, home for the holidays, you know?
Yeah, okay. It's coming back to me now.
Absolutely, yes. So there was a really crummy freeform ABC movie called Holiday in Handcuffs, and that's what happened to me over Christmas time. I was headed home to Charleston for the holiday season, and I got ran off the road, and I called the cops for help, and unbeknownst to me, was driving on a suspended license because I had not paid a rolling stop ticket. That ever happened to you?
Oh, shit. No, that's
a rolling
fucked up.
stop ticket, baby. Yeah.
Dude, that's super fucked up.
Yeah.
I remember I had a suspended license in Maine. That's where I'm from, and I can't even remember what it was for. It was probably something like I got pulled over. I didn't have my insurance with me at the time.
It's never something huge deal, you know. Yeah, it's just something you forget about.
Exactly. It's just a way for the freaking government to rake us over the coals.
Oh, absolutely.
Try and get more money from us.
Raking over the coals at Christmas time.
Yeah,
too,
that's cold-blooded, dude.
Very cold-blooded. Scrooge, indeed. But it's crazy because I got fucked by The Price is Right. The sheriff that arrested me, his name was Officer Bobby Barker. Shit you not, his officer was Bobby Barker. So what's behind cell block number 9?
That's fucked, dude. So what ended up happening? Were you able to get everything all cleared up?
Everything's cleared up, all because of your fantastic driving me to my friend's house in the morning, you know. You really played a major role. Yes,
right?
To Brentwood, yes. And I actually moved into that apartment now. That's where I live currently.
Oh, shit, okay.
Which kind of sucks, you know. I miss being on the east side, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
So you're a musician, you play guitar, right?
I do, yes. I play guitar and bass, you know, whatever is required of me. But guitar is the preferred, for sure.
Yeah. You played or play bass in the Sundays, the Ice Cream Treat?
Yes. I lend my fingers to the bass for him. And Max, the mastermind behind the Sundays project, is also my producer and guitar player for the Wild Squash project.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a nice little ancestral thing we've got going on. You know, we only play with each other.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun than playing with yourself, you know.
Definitely, yeah. Absolutely. It's one of the great things I think about Nashville once you kind of find your scene or the people that you play with or even just your friends.
Yeah.
You figure out where you fit and it doesn't feel so lonely because it can feel so lonely when you first get here.
Yeah.
You don't really know anybody. Nobody wants to play with you yet.
Exactly, especially if you move down like by yourself, like without a set up group, you know, like I was sort of lucky. I had a couple guys from high school that one went to Belmont and the other went to Watkins College. So through those different places, I was able to sort of find a community pretty like a lot faster, I would say. And I'm very thankful for that and to have had those people and those introducers.
Yeah. What was Belmont like?
I didn't love it, man. I didn't really love it. I will say I'm grateful for some of the things I've gotten from it, but I don't think my crew of people necessarily came from Belmont. I think it came from Nashville people. Like, I will say Luke Fedorko, he went to Watkins his freshman year. He introduced me to Micah Mathewson, and from there I met just my entire crew of people who I'm very close with today, and like, it's really nice to have those groups, but Belmont never gave me a huge community. My roommate, I live with him and love him, but I can count on one hand like the amount of people from Belmont that have really stayed important in my life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like an interesting scene because I feel like Belmont is almost like its own scene.
Definitely, yeah. And I don't know, something about this scene with Belmont seems to be maybe changing or getting a little more interesting. Like, I know there's this guy Lava Goals. Do you know him?
No.
He's really sick, but he's like a junior at Belmont, and he does a lot of, grooves and just really good vibe music, and he's really sick. He's a DJ. I guess I don't know. I don't know if he's a DJ or just a synth guy, but he's very impressive. And I know he's still flashing in the pan at Belmont, and he's still really young. And from what I've heard from him, the scene seems to be growing in a cool direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was there, did you go to Belmont?
No.
Okay.
I have a teacher. My bass teacher teaches there, Roy Voigt.
Okay, nice.
So I've been to Belmont a ton.
Yeah, you've been around.
Yeah, because I take lessons with them. So
Yeah.
it's always like I'm coming in. There's like Belmont kids going out from their
You can
classes.
see what do you glean from them? What do you think when you see them? Like,
well,
can
it's
you
like
catch vibes?
It's a mixed bag because I know some Belmont kids who are really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and then I know some Belmont kids who are not.
Yeah,
really cool.
Exactly.
It's like it's like with anything.
There's a good mix of both. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, there's gonna be good people and bad people on both sides.
Yeah, but it seems like to a certain degree, there's like a music industry pedigree, and I think like some of the kids that go there, they feel like they're able to be like, I go to Belmont.
Exactly.
You know
No
what I
doubt.
mean?
When really, so you can afford $50,000 a year.
Exactly.
Exactly. Which, not to say I'm not grateful that I was able to do
Sure,
that myself,
yeah.
not to remove myself from that, because still I have a hefty amount of money that I owe them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. But I do have that pedigree of Belmont music education, and now I'm a server, like after I went through the gauntlet at Belmont to get a music business degree, I work at the corner pub, rock and roll, serving.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's pretty cool. I can make big money really fast and do the music thing pretty flexibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it's always funny to kind of like be earning your stripes doing music. It's an idea that it's constantly kind of changing in my head as far as what I consider myself to be or what I want to do exactly.
Yeah.
It's always growing and evolving. And working jobs and all that shit, it's like today I was thinking like, Jesus, how long am I going to have to work a fucking job?
Yeah. How long is this period of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When do I get my just desserts,
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I don't even feel a certain type of way about working because I don't mind working. It's just I want a little bit of freedom to where I'm not stressing every single fucking month about like because it's like half the work you end up doing every month is going to be free just because you love doing it, and B that's just the way it is when you're starting out.
Yeah.
And I haven't
like
figured it out.
to tell people I got in the music business for the money, I got into playing shows in East Nashville because it's the best way to make money,
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
But there's a
no
great
artistic
scene.
integrity at all. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a phenomenal scene. Like, we are super lucky. There's so many cool bands here that I love to be like and that I love to be around,
We were talking before we started up about the Weird Sisters.
Yes.
Have you been to one of their parties?
I have not been to a Weird Sisters party, dude.
The Weird Sisters are a bunch of freaks, dude.
Yeah. I
They're,
love it.
They're very good friends of mine. They were actually some of the first musicians I kind of got close with in Nashville. I went to a show at Exit In, which we were also talking about.
Hell yes, we were.
And I met them at a Bad Bad Not Good show.
Very cool.
And
love them.
Yeah, they're really good. Isaac,
I think one of the episodes I've listened to you on, you talked about Bad Bad Not Good.
Yeah,
before.
they're a great band, man.
Yeah.
But when I met Isaac and Gabby, at the time I was getting ready to do a recording session, and I wanted them to be a part of it.
Yeah.
We recorded over at Blackbird. That was my first recording session in Nashville.
Love it. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. But
that's a pedigree right there.
Yeah, no, dude. I was very lucky to be able to record there. But I remember meeting Isaac, and he told me he left his keys in his other spacesuit.
Oh wow!
Because that day he had tried on some spacesuit at a store, a NASA suit, and left his keys in the pocket.
Oh no!
And I've had a friendship with the Weird Sisters ever since.
That's a great opening line.
Yeah.
My other spacesuit. Yeah, I've been fortunate to be on a show with them. Sundays and Weird Sisters played a show, and very much looking forward. I also play guitar with a band called Shoe. It's fucking awesome, man. Chase Lloyd, you rock. Shots of fireball all around. But we're playing in Clarksville February 8th.
Okay.
With
Very nice.
Weird Sisters and Quiet Oaks as well. I don't know if you know them, but
no.
Hell of a great rock and roll band, man.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I think were the Weird Sisters at Spewfest last year?
I don't know if they did last year.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
That's always a really cool East Nashville institution.
I know that they have another one coming up soon, right?
Yeah,
Is it February maybe or March?
Usually February, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's like the 4th or 5th one. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a minute. They've been pretty
sick.
dedicated to
Cold
it.
Lunch Recordings, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool thing out of East Nashville.
They were on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She talked to Taylor as well?
Which Taylor are you talking about? Taylor Cole?
Taylor Cole.
Yeah, he's been on. I had Caroline on. Caroline and maybe Gary, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they're doing is really cool. I respect them a lot, man.
Hell
They're really great supporters of the scene, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
So.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
So you were talking about work. What do you do when you're not ripping the jams and doing the podcast, man?
Well, I work at a radio station and I do Uber and Lyft.
Love it.
Yeah. So with those things though, I have a lot of freedom. Like I got to a certain point where I just knew that I needed freedom in my life and no longer to have like a job where I was showing up and like working in an office, because I always had sales jobs before I did this. And I just knew it wasn't right for me anymore. Yeah. I had to figure something out to where if I woke up in the morning, like I have shift scheduled at the radio station, but if I wake up and I just want to practice or I just want to go to breakfast and not do anything that day, it's just like hang out and live my own life. It took a long time to get to that point to like build that kind of life.
Absolutely. And obviously you're up at 5 a.m. You're driving Uber. You're driving kids like me to go to their court dates, you know?
Yeah, it's honestly been really interesting driving for Uber and Lyft.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Like I've probably given close to 5,000 rides now or something like that.
Seasoned vet.
Mm-hmm. And what I've learned is for the most part, people are pretty cool.
Yeah.
People are cool. There's only been 5 or 6 times where there's been like a bad or weird ride. Yeah. One time I picked up this guy who was a pimp at Mickey's, like a literal pimp.
An actual pimp.
An actual pimp. One. He tried to sell me a pound of mushrooms.
Wow.
Did you
take him up on it?
No, I didn't take him up on it. But yeah, we stopped. He's like, I need to grab some beers. Can we stop at this gas station real quick? So we stop. And this lady keeps coming up to my window who is in a wig. She was a lady of the night.
A lady of the night.
A lady of the night.
Wow.
And she was saying, "Oh, you're so cute. Can we swap numbers?" Stuff like that. Clearly a prostitute.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, no.
And only a prostitute could be interested in you.
Yes. And then she gets in the car with the guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then I dropped them off. It was right around the corner. It was like 2 seconds away.
Yeah.
And she gets out, goes inside. He stays out to talk to me for a second. And he said, I got to take her to church and get her some vegetables and she'll be all good in the morning, dude. It was fucked up, bro. She was like scratching, you know, because she was all cracked out or something.
Wow.
That's probably the weirdest ride I've had. I took a guy to rehab once, too.
Damn. Empowering.
Yeah. It was dark, dude. He was super drunk. I picked him up in Brentwood. At that Shell station right off the highway.
Yeah, I know exactly the one off of Harding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was blindly freaking drunk. His brother had ordered him a lift from Colorado.
Whoa.
He gets in my car and he says, someone just stole my car.
Whoa. And
he's like, I can't call the cops because I was drunk driving.
Damn.
And my brother's making me go to rehab.
Wow.
So it was pouring down rain.
Situation.
Yeah. It was pouring down rain. And I drove him all the way out to Cumberland Heights, which in the rain, it was like an hour away with the rain. And then we get there. He refuses to go in. He doesn't want to go in. He doesn't want to go to this rehab. He wants to go to another one in Franklin.
Damn.
So
this one's not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. He was just like, I don't want to be here for 30 days. I want to go for 7 days. And he was just talking to me, man. And, you know, it's nice to just feel like you can help people out sometimes and be a human being.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have empathy before. That was like, empathy is something that I really learned how to have the past 2 or 3 years. It was not in my emotional toolbox.
Dealing with 5,000 different human encounters, I'm sure you'll learn something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's kind of funny. Yeah, to think of it that way. Most of the time, people are just so excited to be in Nashville, though.
Yeah, you got a lot of tourists.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the tourists. There's a lot of people who don't like them, but they give me a job.
Absolutely,
that people who need court dates.
You go down
court dates.
Yeah.
And rehab. Yes.
And rehab, court dates, rehab, tourists.
And prostitutes. Yeah, it's been a really colorful thing. I think if I ever stop driving, I'll honestly really miss it a lot.
Yeah, just got to do it.
Yeah.
How great would it be to like tour as an Uber driver? You know, like you bring people along that are going to your next city of touring. You know, and just like. I think that's called hitchhiking, actually.
It's called hitchhiking, but maybe if Uber and Lyft slide me some cash and want to do a paid sponsorship, I'd be open to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see where it goes.
Not be too bad.
East Nashville tour, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you have a recording coming out with the band Shoe, is that right?
Case Wooten in the Mail and Read.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I got all those projects. I can't even keep up with them myself, you know. But yeah, so in August, Case, Case, and his brother Brody, who are the 3 main ones of the group, and we sort of have a rotating rhythm section because can't get any of them to stick around long enough. I don't know if we suck or what the word is, but
that's just Nashville, dude. It's
just Nashville, you know. Everyone's got their own stuff, but yeah, we went in with this guy Marcus at Mind Flight Records, and in 5 days did 12 songs, which it's a hell of a marathon experience, I would say, for sure. And that's actually the weekend I quit smoking, because I woke up like the 3rd day we were there, and I was supposed to do background vocals that day, and just like my throat felt like it was just closed up. I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore, you know.
So you were just chain smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, you said?
Yeah, hand-rolled. So I was a big fan of the Danish Export. That was my guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Very safe and comforting, cushy, lovely, and yeah, I was all right at them. I never got as good as I felt I deserved to be for how long I had the habit, you know? Like,
yeah.
I was always like, you know, I've been rolling these for like 2 years, and this still really isn't that good of a cigarette roll. But no, it was a blast. It was stressful, but it was mostly fun, I would say. We had a lot of time experimenting with stuff in the studio and figuring out. It's hard to sort of experiment in just 5 days for 12 songs, you know.
Yeah,
had to have a big deadline, got to get shit done. But I think we pushed through, and we've decided we're gonna do a release every month this year.
Smart, dude.
Yeah,
I love hearing shit like that.
A little single a month, you know, keep you going, because, you know, albums and stuff in our playlist generation, you know, people are only looking for the single. So we got 12 singles, baby. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. That you can add to all your playlists. But the first one came out on the 3rd of January. It's called Ebb and Flow.
Very nice.
Yeah,
cool.
And we bought sailor outfits to play in our first show after that, which was a hell of a good time. Looked very good. Looked like a gay porn come to life for sure. It was a blast. And yeah, the next song is coming out on Valentine's Day, and it's called Leavin' 2.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Where can people find that at? Is it on all the major?
All the major streaming stuff, yeah, absolutely. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora maybe, Amazon Music, all the things I would believe.
Yes.
Yeah. But another thing, Sundays that we talked about, he's got his project coming out. I think the Banana Tapes people, do you know them?
No.
They're very cool, great people, great bands, and they've been doing a lot of tape pressing in Nashville, and so they're doing an 8-song tape press for Sundays, and yeah, it's coming out pretty soon. I know the release show is the 31st, and the tapes are coming out then.
Of January?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Where are you guys playing at?
It's at the Banana Tapes house.
Okay.
Yeah, so DM for address.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But so right now, this current incarnation of the band for him is really what he calls sexy disco. He's got the tracks playing behind him, and he sings them. And I play bass on some of the recorded stuff, and so I'm not in the live band currently. But I am going to be coming up. We recorded a new version of one of the singles that's already out called Boyfriend. And, yeah, he's got this dope dude on steel guitar, and I played bass on it. So we're going to jump up and do that one live for sure.
What kind of bass do you play?
Whatever ones I can borrow.
Oh, spoken like a true guitar player.
I'm spoken like a true guitar player, and I absolutely play the bass like a guitar player.
Really?
But I have a blast doing it, man. I really have enjoyed it. I actually do have a bass back home. My aunt got me a bass for graduation from college, but I love her to death, but she's a very stubborn lady, and she won't give it to me unless I physically go to her house when I'm back home and pick it up from there. Like, she won't bring it to my house when I'm there, which I understand, it's very sweet of her to get the bass, but just since I've graduated, every time I'm back home, it's for 48 hours, and there's only so much I can do in that time span, and so I have a bass waiting for me that I believe is a nice one.
What kind of bass is it?
I don't know.
You don't. It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Oh,
yeah.
shit, dude.
Maybe if I knew what kind, I'd be like rushing a little harder, but still,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It'll get there. It'll be in my possession at some point.
Where are you from?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, shit. I hear that city's starting to, really rise a lot.
It's beautiful, man. Yeah, and definitely rising is a key word. The water level is rising, taking the city away, and also the buildings are rising up because so many goddamn people are moving there.
What is the main industry there? Is it like finance or tech? Do you know?
Ugh. Wow, that's a good question. I don't know. It's a huge foodie city, like restaurants amok,
Really?
like so many restaurants. Like, I don't know if you know Husk here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the guy that originally is a Charleston thing. The guy,
Really?
Yeah, Sean Brock is the chef mastermind behind that. He's since sold all his stake in it, I believe, and he's opened up a new restaurant in East Nashville. But yeah, he comes from Charleston, and he helped. I'd say he definitely spearheaded it, being a big foodie city. Like, it's huge on bars and food, and honestly a big tourism factor now. Like,
Yeah, I would imagine it's a pretty big tourist place in the summertime.
definitely. It's way too damn hot though.
Yeah.
Like, during
Hotter
the
than
summertime.
Nashville?
Oh yeah, man. And it's that extra humidity. Like, people are always saying Nashville is so humid. I'm like, oh my God, you haven't even. Charleston's right by the ocean, man. Like, you get outside, you feel like you just had a shower, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, you are so.
A sweat shower.
Sweat shower, yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
Man, I loved it, dude. I am super thankful to be from there, and every time I go back there, it is just so nice. Like, it's still weird for me being in a landlocked state. I love the beach. The beach is my home. Always try to get out to there when I am back home. But also did a lot of the Charleston ritzier stuff, Like, I played tennis and played golf. Love it. I've been trying to get back into tennis. Me and Max from Sundays have been talking about how we're going to get back into it. But I think it's a good sport. Golf's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the music scene like there?
So, when I was growing up, it sort of just started to get going, Like, it now is bigger than it's ever been, and I think there's a lot of great acts to contribute to that, namely Stowe and Hey Rocco. And they're two bands that love to death, but I saw Hey Rocco for the first time when I was in high school, because honestly, I didn't really get great music taste or any great musical realm about me. Like, I played guitar when I was in elementary school, but didn't really get into cool things until, like, towards the end of college, probably.
Yeah.
Not towards the end of college, towards the end of high school there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my freshman year, I saw Hey Rocco open up for a band called The Makeshift back then, and they were really cool. At this place called the Music Farm. And that was the first really cool show I ever went to. Because other than that, I'd listen to pretty much, like, not to say they're bad or to discredit them, but, like, just a lot of classic rock at the time, like, whatever my dad would show me. I was big into, like, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, and, like, love them to death still, like, but wasn't more interested in sceney things until later, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, Stowe came out, or not came out, but I started hearing of them probably around my junior year. And Hey Rocco now is out in LA, and they're doing stuff out there, and big fan of them. I actually got to play with them in December with Shoe and Hard at Hard's Christmas party. They came through town on tour. Reality Something was on tour with them. And Stowe has since been doing some big things. Their latest album they just recorded with Ian Fitchuk, who co-wrote and co-produced Golden Hour with Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
That's a pretty big name, and I think they definitely have to do with a lot of credit of the music scene they're growing. Also, Shovels and Rope, I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, they're like a duo, right?
Yeah, they're a husband and wife duo, and they've always been really cool, and they actually are the ones that organized the only music festival that Charleston has now, which is called High Water Music Festival. And
that's appropriately named.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Oh, man. I'm always scared that, 20 years from now, my hometown's going to be washed away with the
ocean.
Taken back to the oceans. But then I get to go back and vacation to Atlantis, so.
Yeah, vacation in Atlantis.
Exactly. You got to look on the bright side of everything.
Yeah, man. It's crazy to kind of see a lot of the events that have been happening, like, weather-wise, really the past 10 or so years, because it seems like shit like that didn't happen when we were kids.
Yeah,
it happened.
I was living in Charleston, and now every year I see there's a huge headline for a huge hurricane coming through Charleston. Like, I remember probably 3 when I was growing up, and that's being generous. Like,
yeah, now it's every year.
Exactly, now it's every year.
There was just a thing, I think out today, there was like a tsunami watch in like Jamaica, Cuba, and a couple other places in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Because they just got hit with an earthquake.
Damn.
And then like the Australian fires happened. Dude, all this shit's biblical as fuck, dude.
It's biblical as fuck, dude.
We got to start taking care of the planet, dude.
That is a definite must. I felt really good. I've been shopping at Trader Joe's, and I go in and I bring my reusable bags that I feel really good about. Yesterday I went to CVS and I put my reusable bag on the table. Not to say that I'm doing everything to save the planet with my one reusable bag, but it gives me some sense of helping.
Think globally, act locally.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. But the CVS guy, just put the shit in the plastic bag anyway.
And I'm then he handed it to you.
I'm like, I brought this so I don't do that. And then he just dumped it out into my bag and then threw the plastic bag away. I'm like, oh.
Dude, that's like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Absolutely. Oh, God, I love that show, man.
Dude, I have yet to see a full episode. I just watched clips online.
Oh, it's so
random
cringy,
clips
dude.
of
it. It's hard to get through a whole episode.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's unbelievable. Like, it is in my top 3 favorite shows, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry David's a genius.
Oh, he absolutely is. I haven't seen the new season yet, but I'm super stoked because I remember last summer I saw there was an article that Jeff Tweedy is in an episode of this 10th season.
Yeah.
And Wilco's like my favorite band.
Nice.
Love Jeff Tweedy. But I heard one of my friends who watched the first episode said he's tired of people just coming up and talking to him because, it's Larry David. Everyone wants to talk to Larry David. And he said he gets a MAGA hat or something.
So no one talks to him in Los Angeles.
So no one will talk to him in
I feel
LA.
like he's the only person who could A, come up with that, and B, pull that off.
Exactly, yeah. Because, so many, with the sensitive climate of comedy nowadays, there's not, a a lot of people can't do a lot of things, but Larry David, I think, has earned he's a lovable Jewy guy, you know, like, I hope that's not taken out of context.
Fuck him if anybody takes it out of context.
He is my hero, you know, I mean that in only the best way. He's a neurotic guy that can pull off a lot of stuff, you know, because that's just who he is. He's just Larry David, and like at this point, he is just Larry David.
Yeah. Are you a big comedy fan?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Who do you like comedy wise?
Comedy wise, I love John Mulaney. I love Anthony Jeselnik. I think he's a hysterical dark comedian.
Jeselnik is very funny.
Yeah,
very dark.
He's insanely dark and good. But Dave Chappelle, I love. He's great.
Oh, dude, I loved his special. The one
Sticks and Stones.
Yeah, dude.
So good, man. Yeah.
Well, it's like all the critics started shitting on him, and
that
was the whole point. He knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's why he named the fucking special Sticks and Stones.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to push some buttons on this one, you know. But I don't think I think everything he says is out. Like, it's just comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when he says these outlandish, ridiculous things, he himself, like, walks away and laughs at it. Like, because he's obviously kidding.
Yeah.
Another who I really love that I'm sure you dig as well if you're in the podcasting, but I love Maron, man. Like,
oh, dude. Yeah, he's great, man. He's fantastic. I would say he's the best at interviewing musicians.
Oh, he's unbelievable. Yeah. I've listened to thousands of episodes of him. Like, not thousands, but hundreds for sure. Like, he has kept me company on so many road trips.
I listened to one he did with Slash, and it was so funny because, like, does anybody even know what Slash's voice sounds like?
No.
He's
when
silent.
does he talk? Exactly, yeah.
He
does an incredible
interview.
Yeah, he does an incredible interview with Slash. I love that one. I love the Alice Cooper one. Have you heard that one?
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think that's the one that really got me hooked on his show. I'm like, damn, this is like the coolest interview I've ever heard.
Yeah, he was in Nashville fairly recently, I think within the past 6 months or so.
Yeah, it was in October, I think.
At T-Pack.
Yeah, there was a lot of things going on in like a 2-week span that I just was so broke for, but just really wanted to go. Like, I think within 2 weeks, he was at the T-Pack, Wilco was at Opry House, and Elvis Costello was at the Ryman. It's like,
dude, Elvis Costello is great.
You went?
No, I wish I did. But yeah, there's always something going on here, dude.
Exactly.
Like you have to pick and choose because really the summer goes from like March until October.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, you can't make everything happen. You realize, you gotta pick the ones that are gonna matter. The ones that, like, say Wilco, like they're gonna be touring for a long time, I would say. Like, and I've seen them before. Gotta pick and choose your battles. Yeah.
I've never gotten into Wilco just because I've never really listened to them.
Yeah.
What draws you to them?
Man, I will say some people in high school tried to show me them, and at that point I still wasn't like a great music listener, I would say. And I didn't get it. Like, I bought Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, which everyone is like, this is their big thing. And I just didn't get into it at all. And I don't know what happened. I think it was my sophomore year where I really just like, my sophomore year of college where I just woke up to Wilco, and I think it's Tweedy's voice. I think it's his insane lyrics. I think everyone in that band is incredible at what they do. Like, they had a rotating lineup kind of up until 2007, and it's been the same since 2007. And Nels Cline is just a magician as a guitar player, and like all of his tones are incredible to me. And just really Tweedy, his lyrics and voice and knack for crafting a song, it just seems so effortless. Yeah, that's the word, effortless.
They're from Austin?
Chicago.
Okay. I knew it was a cool city.
Yeah, a definite cool city. You got to, yeah.
I've never been to Chicago. I've driven through it, but I've never spent any time there.
So I went 3 times in 3 years because one of my best friends from back home, he went to Columbia College of Chicago. So, like, every September or October for, like, 3 years, I went up to visit him, and it was a good time. I went to Riot Fest there in 2015 or 2016.
Was that when the Misfits played?
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh,
it was
shit.
so good.
Did you see them?
Oh, of course I saw.
Dude,
They
with
were
Danzig?
it was I got to that stage in particular, like, not early enough, because I saw Death Grips beforehand, but I still got there like an hour before they were starting, and still, it was just so packed. Like, everyone and their brother was there. Like, anyone who had gotten a ticket to Riot Fest was already there and waiting. I was so far from the stage, but still, like, it was mind-blowing. They were crazy.
I bet it was just ferocious.
Oh, absolutely ferocious. It tugged on my soul.
Yeah, I got super into the Misfits when I was in high school. They were the first punk band that I really loved.
Yeah.
For me, like, starting off, I really loved punk music a lot.
Yeah.
And they were the first one. I always liked the Ramones, and I thought they were good.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just the Misfits. It was something about them. I think it's Danzig's
extra
voice.
added intensity, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would agree, yeah. It's more, it's also that hard gothic element that they bring to all of their performances. You know, I think it's a total different kind of punk than the Ramones, you know? The Ramones are just sort of like
singing about
New
girls
York
and shit.
Cool punk, you know? Yeah, like singing about girls and shit, yeah. And Danzig's up there getting sort of brutal on you with his punk.
Singing about wolf's blood.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, there was something about it that just drew me in, which I'd never been really. I always liked Halloween and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the holiday and the song.
And the song is great.
But their whole thing is just, it's all that. It's all that horror goth punk shit. And there was just something about it. You know, I was from like a super small town in Maine. Yeah. And it just seemed so far away and kind of like fantastical yet small, like this world that they created. And they really only exist in their prime years for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it was like a blink of an eye. You know? Yeah. But their legacy is just so insane that I guarantee you, like, so many Riot Fest tickets were sold on the sole fact that it was like first time they've reunited in how many years? Like 30, probably. Yeah.
It's been a long ass time. Yeah. I just also really love their melodies because his voice is not a typical punk singer's voice.
No, yeah.
He's almost like an opera singer or something like that.
I was going to say, like, he's got, like, sort of Elvis Roy Orbison vibes to me, you know? Like,
Definitely.
that deeper, like, operatic element to it.
There's a conspiracy theory that he's actually, Glenn Danzig is the long-lost son of Jim Morrison.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that theory.
Yeah, I like that theory, too. Yeah, it's official. It's official.
Absolutely. Endorsed by the Poptimus and Wild Squash.
100%. So where can people find your social media? Where can they find you? How can they see your music? How can they see all that stuff?
Oh, I got it all, baby. So, well, I don't have it all. It's mainly on Instagram is my form of social media, which is Wild Squash Baby, which is, you know, Wild Squash Baby. That's how I say it. You know?
Yeah, the Nashville business card, Instagram.
Absolutely. It's not, the band name and project name is not Wild Squash Baby. It's just Wild Squash. I actually was billed on a bill as Wild Squash Baby because of the Instagram handle once, but whatever. I wasn't
just
gonna
roll
change
with it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the Instagram handle. Facebook page under development. Spotify, Apple Music, all under Wild Squash. I got 2 songs out right now for my personal project, Wild Squash, which songs are Crazy's Better Than Lonely, which as I've grown older and wiser, I realize that sentiment is not exactly true, but I do love the song. It's a bitchin' song. and I also have a Christmas song out. I see that y'all are not too shying away from the holidays after
No,
holiday
yeah,
season, you know?
we haven't put
We got
away
the
any of our
Christmas tree
Christmas
up and the
decorations yet.
stockings.
They're
I
still
love it.
up.
No, it adds such an air of hominess to this house.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel very in my element doing this interview.
Yes, we're in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, but Two Stone for Christmas is that Christmas song.
Okay,
and,
very
it was
nice.
a split with my buddy Chase and Shu. He did Too Drunk for Christmas. I did Two Stone for Christmas.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun, yeah, and I got songs coming. I've got 3 that are recorded and just waiting on seeing how I want to put them out, and got a lot more ready to record, and got a lot recorded with Case Wooten and a lot of gigs with Shoe coming up. So
Straight up hustling, dude.
straight up hustling, baby.
Millhouse, let's do the news.
All right.
Ooh, Millhouse.
Let's start with this one. The best and worst of the 2020 Grammy Awards.
Best and worst of the 2020 Grammy Awards.
Did you hear about Billie Eilish?
I did, yes.
She cleaned up.
She cleaned house. Yeah, she got like 5.
Yeah, Aerosmith and DMC made a glorious mess and a showcase the challenge of having to respond to Kobe Bryant's death because it happened on the same day.
Oh yeah, and it was at the Staples Center too, which is
Mhm.
where he played. Yeah, I heard there was like that Alicia Keys Boys to Men tribute. So I had a gig at Betty's that day, and I didn't get to watch any of it. Sadly, it was on, but with no sound. And I will tell you, it was really fun to watch Aerosmith with no sound.
Every time the Grammys happens, I feel like something in my head's just like, oh, it's tomorrow, and then it was actually that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every time the Grammys,
Sunday award shows are strange, you know.
Yeah, I never tune in. I always watch clips from it.
Yeah, same.
I've been trying to find the Aerosmith video because I really do want to see it.
I heard they ate shit, dude.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of funny because that whole thing. Did you hear about that thing with
Joey
their,
Kramer,
with
the
Joey
drummer,
Kramer, their
dude.
drummer?
Yeah.
They told him he
That
had to
was what-
fucking audition,
I
bro.
know, dude.
That's cold-blooded, dude.
I know, it's so fucked up. I was talking to my dad about this on the phone today because he was asking if I had seen it. My dad, Aerosmith is the first rock and roll band I ever got into. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, my dad, when I was in 5th grade, on a cassette player, he had a cassette player in his car. He had an Aerosmith Greatest Hits, and I just remember we only listened to, like, the first 4 songs, like, on repeat. We listened to Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, and Dream On. I think maybe just those 3 on repeat forever. And then 6th grade, we got more into them. But, yeah, there's some definite Aerosmith bangers.
Yeah, dude. I saw Steven Tyler at a movie theater in Green Hills once.
Really?
It was the opening night of the first Deadpool movie. So it was not long after I moved to Nashville. It was in the same year. And I was there with a friend, and we were going to see Deadpool because we were hyped for that. And while we were there, I just see this old woman walk in that looks like she had too much plastic surgery. And then it clicked in my brain. I was like, oh, shit, that's Steven Tyler.
He was around recording his amazing country album. I've only heard the single, and I know it's called Red, White, and You. So that's all I really need to know about Steven Tyler's country.
I heard he used to go in the Guitar Center over there in 100 Oaks.
Yeah.
He used to play the drum sets really loudly. Goes off the employees.
I've heard he's a pretty nice guy. I will say,
He used to like go in there and just sling on him, dude.
just slam.
We'll go to the next one. I do want to say that Lizzo played a flute.
Really?
She
I
played
thought
a
that's
flute?
what she's like famous for.
Oh, Lizzo's famous for like.
I know like she's got the bops, you know, like
But that's like her musical
But-
background?
yeah, that's what. Yeah, I heard like
know that.
yeah, I heard she like kind of.
I didn't know she was musically trained.
Yeah,
Something that,
she whips out a flute.
Was she
on-
good?
yeah,
Guys, y'all need to buff up on your Lizzo knowledge.
Yeah.
Like y'all don't know this.
Yeah, I didn't know. What do you think of Billie Eilish?
Man,
What do you think of her winning?
I love Billie Eilish. I really do. I actually, the night of the Grammys, I was playing that show at Betty's, and I covered "When the Party's Over."
Really?
Yeah, I started integrating that into my set. Sometimes I've done it. I just do it solo on an electric guitar, and I was sort of inspired by the idea from when I saw Car Seat Headrest. Will Toledo solo covered the Frank Ocean song "Ivy," and that was it was insane. And his interpretation of it. I also, by the way, Blonde was the best album of the 2010s. Just throwing that out there. That's my opinion. But yeah, I was sort of inspired by his take, like this gritty, yelly guitar rock take on a soft pop song. And so I took the Billie Eilish "When the Party's Over" and I sort of did that with it. And yeah, I think she's great, man. I think her brother is a hell of a talented producer and definitely steered her in a proper direction.
Yeah, I think she's very interesting. I remember the first thing I heard from her probably like a lot of people, was Bad Guy. I just heard it on the radio because it was everywhere.
Oh, it's so big.
And it doesn't sound like any other pop song on the radio.
No.
The production is completely different from all the other pop music out there.
Exactly. And, I think it definitely signifies a shift in pop music. Like, it's so much darker. Like, it's like those whisper vocals, you know? Like, it's super interesting. And I think she's got a cool thing. And we were talking about comedy. I'm a huge SNL nerd. I watch every episode of SNL, like, the Sunday after it comes out. And she performed, and she did Bad Guy on that, like, rotating stage thing. Did you see that?
Oh, shit. No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's crazy. They did some wild gravity stuff. Like, she basically, like, goes around this square like a hamster, like a hamster wheel. But she sticks on the walls. She's up here. They just, like, had the thing she was in rotating and shot it weird. But it was very cool. Like, she's very talented.
She's also interesting, too, because they're not really selling her in, like, or she's making sure, at least herself, that she's not sold in a very sexual way.
Exactly, yeah. She's wearing all these baggy clothes, you know, like, always long sleeve, you know, like, never anything. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But, yeah, I've never seen her in any revealing clothing.
No.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just think it's interesting because that's also like a very deliberate move. That's 180 from what every other
100%.
pop star, female pop star who's out.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
She's really like.
I mean, she also just turned 18, but I mean, when has America ever not been wrong with that? You know?
She's kind of like an anti-hero, but I really dig her. I think Vampire Weekend also won Best Alternative Album.
I super agree with that, and I love that, and I loved that album, and I'm somewhat of a Deadhead, I would say, and I think they definitely had a lot of Grateful Dead. And I really wish I could have gone to see that show because I know they like have 10 people playing in the live band now, and like,
2 drummers,
insane. Yeah,
2
were you
keyboard players. I didn't get to see them, but I'm trying to go to Bonnaroo this year.
Yeah, it's a good lineup.
It is a pretty good lineup.
Dude,
I'm excited for Tame Impala as well.
Dude, I saw them at Shaky Knees a couple years ago. In 2015, they were the closing Sunday night headliner, and that was sick. That was before Currency even came out, too, and, like, they were really good.
Next story?
Yeah, so the day of, like, the Grammys or whatever, a lot of the tributes were to Kobe Bryant. And the next article is questions emerge about why Kobe Bryant's helicopter was flying in very scary conditions. So apparently that day, like I've read this article like twice now, like the fog was just insane. And they actually have the recording of, like, here's a picture of the plane. I don't know if you looked at it.
Damn.
A helicopter?
Or the helicopter. My bad. And like he just kept getting lower and lower.
Damn.
It's weird. They really don't know what happened other than weather. But they have, you can listen to it online, but the recording of the last response from that helicopter before it crashed.
What did it say?
I might be able to find the transcript right here. Yeah, here we go. Basically, the pilot didn't respond the whole time they were talking to him, even before the crash.
Really?
Kind of odd.
That's super odd. Yeah, it's.
They kept asking him, telling him he's still too low, asking him what his intentions are, and he just kept flying lower and lower. But 7 people died.
It's so sad, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Kobe and his daughter. Yeah, but there were
so
7 other people on there. Yeah.
That's
super heartbreaking.
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe it when I read the news. I was very shocked by it. It's just
seemed like
so
fake
out of left
news.
field.
Everyone is, who's thinking that, you know?
I was driving today, and I was down by, like, Smyrna, and when I was on the highway, they had a billboard up for Kobe Bryant, like a tribute to him already, and it's just like, holy shit, like he was just this larger-than-life cultural icon.
Larger than life, like, I mean, think about the amount of times you've shot a crumpled up paper into a trash and yelled Kobe. You know? Like, larger than life for sure. And I played basketball growing up, like, until I was probably in 5th grade, and never super into it, but I definitely, like, remember collecting cards and having a bunch of old Kobe Bryant cards. You know, like, from his still number 8 number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P.
Sad
indeed.
to see you go.
Yeah, and to all the others. Like,
yeah,
that's
to all the
super
other
sad.
people that passed
Also,
away.
side note, I think this is true. I'm not certain. Hannibal Buress, who is another comedian I love, he had a
He's
bit
funny,
like
yeah.
he's so good. He had a bit talking about people in his age range that he thought like he was wondering if he would outlive them or they would outlive him. And I think he mentions Kobe Bryant as being someone he thought would outlive him.
Dark, dude.
Yeah, crazy. And he said he hopes that Will Smith dies before him so that he can watch that Fresh Prince marathon.
He's also Hannibal is responsible for blowing open the whole
Bill Cosby
thing.
I know. I love that. Yeah.
I remember even hearing like news stories of that from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like random things on the news every now and then. It's like Bill Cosby's settling out of court for something.
Yeah.
And that's fucking dark too.
That's super fucking dark. Yeah. But this is also a while ago. I just think I think it was like a 2012 stand up when he made that joke about Kobe. Like
yeah.
I think it's wild that turn of events happen, you know? Yeah.
Third story?
Okay, so this one's a little different. Florida man arrested for stealing drills, batteries, the batteries off of them, to pay for his ankle monitor fee.
Ankle monitor fee.
Yeah, so like...
He already got arrested. What did he get arrested for?
He'll face additional charges after being arrested for stealing tools, cigarettes, batteries, and other sundry objects to pay for ankle monitor fees occurred during a previous arrest. Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, wait, no, it does. Aggravated assault in Palatka, Florida, so still in Florida.
Palatka, Florida.
He was sentenced to wear an ankle monitor so that authorities could keep track of his movements. Then Parker, unable to keep up with the monitor's monthly fees, turned to petty crime.
Wow.
He burglarized a local store for $3,000 worth of cigarettes.
Whoa. That's a lot of cigarettes.
that reminds me of that Trailer Park Boys episode. You ever see that Trailer Park Boys when they smuggled cigarettes across the border for Sebastian Bach?
No. For
For Sebastian Bach, they got all these cigarettes and it was like, I don't know, something like $100,000 worth of cigarettes or something like that, and because they're able to get them for cheaper in America or sell them for more or something like that. They actually smuggled it over the main border. The main Canadian border, so it's kind of funny.
So he was
That's wild.
Batteries off the back of work trucks, which is funny because I was at the Basement East working, and we were setting up the barricade there, and a man walked in and he said, "You guys know you left your drills on the back of your truck. Somebody could just easily steal them," and then walked away.
Dude, damn.
He was probably thinking about stealing them.
Yeah.
We went out and grabbed him. We were like, "I don't want
Immediately,
to steal them."
It's probably not the same guy. It's hard to get
No,
from
it's
Florida to
definitely
Nashville with an ankle bracelet.
Yeah. How do they expect him to pay a monthly crime if he's not?
Exactly, if he can't work.
He sounds like a victim more than anything, dude.
Exactly, dude.
Maybe not the aggravated assault.
He's an anti-hero.
He's
an anti-hero,
definitely
yeah.
an anti-hero.
Did y'all ever see Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, dude.
Great ankle
Classic
bracelet
movie.
movie, dude. Yeah, love that one.
A serial killer living next door.
Yeah, dude, Rear Window, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I
Of course.
appreciate the kindness bestowed upon you to me.
Of course.
Yeah.